All right, today's date is Wednesday, October 16th, 2019. We are on self-check 3.1. So there is a tiny typo on number 1 that shouldn't be there in the future years watching this video. B should have been, if you crossed this out, it should be -2 to 1 and 1 to 3. So that was the correct answer. Sometimes AP tests will do this though. They're like, we're too lazy. We know it's not actually increasing at 1, but we'll call it. So that might happen. Be prepared to see that. This was not pulled from an actual AP test. So that was the reason it looks so wonky. It was from a textbook who had writers that didn't know what they're doing. So number 2, the function. Oh, let me explain. This is a graph of f prime. So f prime on the graph of f prime is height. So it's asking, where is the height greater than 0? Where is f increasing? F prime greater than 0 is the height greater than 0. So on this one, we're finding f prime. So this is a graph of f prime, and we're looking for inflection point. Inflection point definition. Go. FIP.
F double prime sign change.
There it is. F double prime sign change.
I got it wrong.
And on the graph of f prime, f double prime is what? Slope. So where do I have a slope sign change? Positive to a negative. So I have a slope sign change here, 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 and here. How many do I have in total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Correct answer is E. On to number 3. We have f prime given above. Which of the following could be a graph of f? So we need to go backwards. So let me give you the definition of an f max. What is f max? Someone shout it out. Where what goes from a positive to a negative? Exactly. Where f prime goes from a positive to a negative. On a graph of f prime, that is going to be, what is f prime on a graph of f prime? Height. So where does the height go from a positive to a negative? Right there. I have a max right here, so we can say max right here. I have a minimum right here because it's going the other direction. So where do I have a maximum at 1 and a minimum at -1? Literally only one graph has that, and it is this one. B. Another way of thinking about this is this was a positive quadratic. Positive quadratic. If I go backwards, I should have a positive cubic. I should add one more turn. And if my right hand is up, that means I'm positive. A few different ways to think about number 3. Number 4. Which of the following could be the graph of h prime if this is just h? So I need to take the derivative. Notice that I have a maximum here, a maximum here, a minimum here. And that means I should be crossing, again, give me the definition of f max, someone new. Sign change from positive to negative, perfect. So I need to have, on the graph of f prime then, f prime will be height, slope, concavity, height. So I need a height that goes from positive to negative right around there. So where do I have a positive to a negative? I have a positive to a negative at D and E, but none of these other points. So at D and E, I switch from a positive to a negative, but one of these is correct and one of them is not correct. So this I would consider a positive what? Cubic. And if I take the derivative, I should have a positive quadratic. Correct answer is E, not D, because that is not quadratic. That almost looks like a sine wave to me, or maybe some sort of quartic function. It needs to be quadratic though, so the correct answer is E. We're doing good so far. No questions. All right, number 5. Which is increasing at a decreasing rate? So increasing, that means that f prime is greater than 0. Decreasing rate means f double prime is less than 0. These are all graphs of f. So on the graph of f, f prime is slope, and f double prime on the graph of f is concavity. So we are looking for something that is positive slope, negative concavity, or concave down. So positive slope, nope, nope, nope. It's between A and C, just knowing that it should be a positive slope. Which one has a concave down graph? C. Correct answer is C. And number 6, we have this graph shown above, horizontal tangents here, here, and here. At which of the following do I have a relative maximum? So this is a graph of f prime. So give me the definition of f max. Shout it out.
F prime changes from
F prime goes from positive to a negative. This is a graph of F prime. So what is F prime on a graph of F prime? Height. So I need the height to go from a positive to a negative. That only happens once right here. This went from a negative to a positive. That goes from a positive to a positive. Only once do I have a F max, and it's at 4 only, C. At the very top of your paper, count them up. How many did you get right out of 6?
Should we include one?
Include one, because you might be seeing a weird typo. I doubt that it would happen, but you should be prepared for anything. I'm guessing most of you did circle B or thought that it was B. If you didn't circle anything but thought it was B, count it correct. If you thought it was D for some random reason, count it incorrect.
I circled A, scratched out only, and added A.
That works, yep. How many did you get correct? Hold up fingers. You'll need 2 hands for this one, maybe. Nice. Oh, 6 out of 6. 6 out of 6. Woo. All right, so we're going to be on to self-check 3.2 next. All right, so on to self-check 3.2. Here we go. We have the graph of F prime above. These should be parentheses, not square brackets. Annoys me. I'll try to fix this later. We're looking for increasing. What is the definition of F increasing? Go. F prime is greater than 0. On the graph of F prime, what is F prime? Height. So this is saying where is height greater than 0? It's greater than 0 there and there.
It said, yeah.
Oh, decreasing? Oh.
Oh, I was like, oh.
My bad. F decreasing is where F prime is less than 0. My bad. So here and here. So between 0 and 2 and between 4 and 6, 0 and 2, 4 and 6, correct answer is E. Number 2, we're looking for inflection points. Give me the definition. F inflection point. F double prime sign change. So I have a graph of F prime. On a graph of F prime, what is F double prime? Slope. So where does the slope change signs? I have a positive slope and a negative slope. So I have a sign change here. Ooh, barely there, and definitely down there. So we have 4 points of inflection. Correct answer is E. I don't know why I uncircled those. I guess we can leave them circled. Number 3. The graph of the derivative is shown in the figure above. Which of the following could be a graph of F? So this is graph F prime. F prime went from a negative to a positive here. So that is a what? This right here is a minimum. A minimum occurred at -1, -2. And then I have a maximum over here. No, that's not a maximum. Sorry. There should not be a maximum over here. There's no maximum, nor is there a minimum over here on the right-hand side. This is a saddle point. You don't need to know that, but looking for a minimum at -2. This has a minimum at -1.5. No. These both have minimums at -2, so it could be between D and E. But why is it not E? Yeah, that has a maximum and a minimum. We should have seen that on the derivative graph, so it is D. No questions. On number 4. We have F above. Which of the following could be F prime down here? So notice that on this graph of F, we have a maximum up here, roughly right about here, which means on the graph of F prime, we should be going from, F prime should be doing what? For a maximum. Should be going from a positive to a negative in terms of its height. So which one has a height that goes from a positive to a negative at that maximum? Well, that one goes from positive to a negative. No, that's weird. That one goes from a negative to a positive for C. This one goes from a positive to a negative. It could be that one. That one is doing weird things from a negative to a positive. So it's between A and E. So what else is happening in this graph that would be helpful? Oh yeah, so if you look at the concavity, that will definitely help. So this looks like it's concave up right here. Can we all agree that? Can we all agree that that's concave down?
Yeah.
Which means we have a what right about here? An inflection point. So an inflection point, an F, a function, inflection point. What is the definition of an inflection point? Sign change. Sign change. On a graph of F prime down here, what is F double prime? So I should have a slope sign change. There's no slope sign change here. That's a constant slope. I do have a slope sign change right here. It goes from a positive to a negative. It is indeed A. On to number 5. The function f has a property that f, f prime, and f double prime are all negative. If it's negative, this means this is, what is f of x? Is that height, slope, or concavity on that graph of f? This is height. F prime is, and f double prime is concavity, which means it's the height is all negative. That one's positive, not E. The slope is all negative. That one has a positive slope, not A. This one has negative slope. That one has a positive slope. This one has negative slope, negative slope. So now it's between B and D. And the concavity should all be negative. Right here, I am concave up. It is B. And finally, number 6. What was the mistake, Gio?
I did
Okay. Spend some time later analyzing why you made the mistake so you don't make a mistake. Make the same mistake again. We have a graph of f prime. We know that f prime has 4 zeros. We need to find relative maxima. So, give me the definition. F relative maxima. Relative maxima.
Where f prime changes from
Positive to a negative. All right, so this is f prime. So on a graph of f prime, what is f prime? Height. So I'm looking for something that has a height change from a positive to a negative. The height changed from a negative to a positive, so not that one. Height didn't change. Height changed from a positive to a negative. Height changed from a negative to a positive. There's only one maxima, and that occurs one time. All right, count them up. How many did you get correct out of 6? Give yourself your score out of 6 at the very top. Out of 6. How do we do? Fingers, go. A 4, a 6, a 4, and a 3. Oh, a 3, 3. Okay. So talk to me about your mistakes real quick.
I need to review my
Your definitions. Okay, that's a good time to do that now. What about you, Sego?
the same.
Same thing. All right, cool.